Hello book lovers, and welcome back or welcome to Nat Cat's Bookish Cafe. Today I will be going through 5 books that I think will be 5 stars. So this will be my second time doing this video. I recently released my did I get these 5-star productions right video, which you can go ahead and check out. Once again, I did struggle a little bit with finding 5 books that I would give a 5 stars, which is a little frustrating because I feel like I should think every book on my shelf is going to be 5 stars. But at the end of the day, I am very much someone who loves to give out 4 and 4.5 stars. And so finding a book that I think will be a solid 5 stars can be a little bit difficult. But I did find 5 books here that I think are going to possibly be some of my favorite books of the year if I actually get around to reading them. All right, so the first book that is going on this list is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ning. This is a book that I very much want to get to. I've never read from this author before, but I do believe she's the author of Little Fires Everywhere, and I watched the show and was very interested in the storyline and the characters, and I'm hoping that translates well into her actual books. In this book, we are following a family in the 1970s, I believe. I believe they are an East Asian family. I can't remember if they are immigrants or if they've been in the country for a while. However, they one day find that their favorite daughter has been found dead in the lake, I believe, or just found dead, and it kind of follows the family before this event and also after, I believe, and we just get to take a look, a deeper dive into this perfect family and get to explore some of their flaws. I have a feeling that this is a book where if I read it at the right time, because I'm not always in the mood for historical or literary fiction, but if I read it at the right time, I think that I'm going to be very invested in this family and in the individual characters and what led to this young woman's death. I'm hoping that it has some good writing in it and that it evokes a lot of emotions in me. So I'm very excited to hopefully be getting to this book relatively soon. Next, we have a book from an author who has actually been on this list before, and that is Hail Mary by Andy Weir. For my last 5-star prediction, I predicted that I would give The Martian 5 stars. It didn't quite get 5 stars, I got 4.5, but I really enjoyed my experience with it. And I think that I'll like this book even more. In this book, I believe we follow a character who wakes up and he doesn't know who he is or where he is, but he's clearly not in his solar system. And it seems that he is on the mission to collect some sort of information that could possibly save the rest of the human race or planet Earth. I don't know too much about this book. People are relatively vague when they talk about it, which is totally fine with me. It is, from what I hear, very science heavy, just like The Martian was, but that didn't bother me too much. I also hear that there is a wonderful side character in this book, and I love a strong side character. Sometimes I love a side character even more than I love a main character. So I really think that this side character is what's going to take Andy Weir's books from a 4.5 to a 5-star read. All right, so next we have a paranormal romance. I feel like werewolves fall under paranormal fantasy romance, and that is Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. This is a story that I heard about from Riley Marie, and the way she described it just really spoke out to me. We are following a werewolf who is unable to shift, and he's stuck with, his wolf nagging him in his head. And one day they cross paths with a woman, and the wolf decides that he wants this woman as their mate, and so they pursue her. I don't know anything else that is going on in the story, to be honest, but Riley mentioned that it was quite humorous, and I have to admit I'm kind of hoping that it has similar vibes to TJ Klune's Green Creek series, probably less grief because that series does explore a lot of grief, but to have kind of that humorous romance aspect to it, which I really enjoy in his stories, which is just making me think that I will give this story 5 stars. So far I've only heard good things about this, and I'm hoping that I too enjoy it as much as everyone else. Next we have a book that I'm ashamed I haven't read yet. This book has been on my TBR for quite a while, and every time someone posts about it, I'm like, I have to read that because they loved it just like everyone else. And that is A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. This is an author that I have read and enjoyed in the past. This follows a trans main character. So they head off to war, and I believe they are thought to be dead, and they seek this as the opportunity to return as a woman, as their true self, and they re-enter society as this way and are reconnected with an old friend of theirs and start a romance. I don't know anything else that may be going on in this book. It's relatively thick, so I'm assuming there's gotta be something other than a romance going on here. But I do enjoy Alexis Hall's writing and his characters, so I'm hoping that I fall in love with this story as well. And for book number 5, when I read the synopsis of this story, I was like, I'm gonna read this book and I'm gonna love this book if it's the freaking death of me. If I do not give this book 5 stars, I will no longer read. I will give up on reading. Not really, but I will be very, very disappointed. And it does make me a little nervous that my expectations for this book are so high, especially since I've never read anything by this author, and I've honestly not looked at any reviews, so I don't even know if people are liking this book. But the book is Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chapeko, and this is also a paranormal story. We are following a vampire hunter who I believe is half vampire himself, and we are coming to a time where there is a new breed of vampires being created, and they are more dangerous than the original vampires. So this vampire hunter ends up teaming up with a vampire pair, a woman and a man, who want to help him figure out a way to kill these vampires. And while they are on this journey to kill these vampires, they end up forming a relationship. So the story does have polyamorous representation in it, which is very exciting. I do tend to like vampire books quite a bit. I'm a little bit picky about them. It's very much hit or miss with me, but as someone who was a huge Twilight girly, I am hoping that this reawakens my love for the vampire race. I'm hoping that this story has a good balance of world building, of kind of action scenes, as well as relationship building between the characters. I also can't help but feel like there might be some humor in the story. I can't help but imagine that a vampire hunter falling in love with 2 vampires can't be at least somewhat humorous. So those are some things that I'm hoping to get from the story. Alright guys, so these are my next 5-star predictions. Hopefully I get to them relatively soon because I'm very excited to read all of these. Let me know if you have read any of these and what you thought of them. Also let me know what some of your 5-star predictions are. And thank you as always for supporting my channel by watching my videos, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!